All right, so we're nearing the end. This is all the parts left on the table for the full swap. And you can see here, we have the shifter parts and some hardware, and then some different shifter handles, which I want to show you some new stuff. And then we have the interior panel itself. So basically all we got to do is install the shifter next, and then put the shifter handle on, and then reinstall the interior panel, and the car is pretty much ready to go. So the first thing I want to cover here is the shifter handle itself and the shifter offset pieces. So my shifter is a 3-piece part. This shifter can be orientated in basically 8 different positions, every 45 degrees on the shifter, and that's why it has these castles cut into it. And basically this part here will go onto the shifter base, and then you have this part that stands up, and that is why you can see there that that's angled. That would be if you're installing it at a 45 degree. So basically you just flip this part back over, maybe, there we go. Flip this part over this way, and now you can see we have a straight handle. So now when you install the bolt down into the top of the shifter like that, it'll now be a straight handle. And then you have your 2 bolts to hold the handle onto the stem here. So I provide Loctite for this. You want to use your Loctite on these fastening bolts that hold the shifter to the base. And then the new stuff that I have here is the shifter handle. So I have, this is the standard one that I've been using for forever pretty much. So this is the one that comes with the kit. And now I have this new stubby handle. So if you want like a shorter, less tall shifter handle, I have this one now available. And they use different cones for the different shift handles. So what I'll do is I'll install the standard one first, and you can take a look at it and see what you think. And then I'll install the stubby one next, and you guys can basically make your decision on which handle you want based off of the way it looks in the car. Okay, so you can see I'm back in the car. I have the tonneau cover boot removed, which is down there laying on the floor with my Loctite. And I have the shifter here, and the first step to installing the shifter is to put a little bit of red Loctite on this the one retaining bolt. And you can see my Loctite is on there. No, I got it on my shorts. Oh well. I got my Loctite on there. I'm going to install this one up underneath to hold the actual lever stem to the extension piece. So I'm going to go ahead and install that, tighten it down, and then we're going to install the other retaining bolt with some Loctite down into the shifter like this. All right, so now we have the shifter install complete. You can see I can get it in and out of gear, row through them, but we need our handle on here yet, and we need to put our boot back on. So the first step then is going to be to install the boot back on, and we're going to slip it down over this big fat round part here, so that way we can still install our handle. So I'm going to go ahead and put the boot back on, and we'll come back. All right, so the boot is reinstalled, and you can see I have it slipped down below where the shift handle will sit. So you can see here, it sits below the shifter handle. I installed the standard shifter handle for now. We're going to go ahead and slip the boot cone on first. So this is the standard boot cone, right? And then you have a bushing that goes over. So I'm going to put that on right there, find it, and then we'll put the shift, actually we'll put the shift knob on last. We're going to put the interior panel back in, and then we're going to put the shift knob on. Okay, so here you can see the finished install, and actually I just need to put the tray back in, so I'll go ahead and do that now. So now that looks complete. So that is with the standard shift handle. So you can see the height there and where it ends up, and shift through here a little bit so you can see. And I like the standard handle because it gives you more leverage on the shifts personally. The shorter handle will give you a shorter throw. But this is with the boot cone installed. You can see how it keeps the boot up and in place nicely, so you don't have the boot just dangling down. This actually, if I try to pull down the boot, that's what that cone does, is it keeps the boot from falling down. So that's the final install with the standard handle. I'm going to go ahead and swap it out for the shorter handle, and you can make the decision on your end. So here we have the shorter handle, the lower profile handle, and I'm going to tighten the knob down. Now, one of the things that people don't understand, the way this knob works is it actually pushes down on the cone and creates tension between the knob base and the cone, and that's how it becomes tight. So you basically just tighten this down and hold it, and you'll feel it starting to get tight with the tension on the cone. And you go down and just till you're straight, and there you go, and that should be it. And this is so this is what you can see here with the lower profile. It actually looks maybe about the same as a factory V160 actually now. So you might like that better if you're like a true purist, I guess you would say. Most purists aren't gonna be putting a T56 in their car, but I do kind of like it. So the very last step is to just make sure that all your intercooler piping is reconnected, and anything that you disconnected for when we wanted to lean the motor back is put back. So like in this example here, I have these radiator mounts that I pulled back, so I'm going to put them back on and in place and bolt them down. Maybe I could loosen that one up. But the intercooler pipe here on the throttle body and the intercooler pipe here on the turbo side. So I'm going to put all that back together, and then we can start this car up and go for a drive. So here's the final product. There is Mike's automatic trans that we pulled out, and give you an overview of the car, show you the inside, the shifter installed. That's the standard shifter, not the short one. Show you the clutch pedal and all that. And the one last thing you're going to need to do here before you take it for a drive is just adjust the clutch pedal to wherever you want it to be. It's going to depend on where you like the clutch to release. That's pretty easy with this Tilton Master setup. You have to basically adjust that gold rod that you can see right in the center of my screen. You just slightly press on the clutch pedal with your left hand, and then with your right hand, after you loosen that jam nut, you can twist that rod either inward or outward, and that's going to move your pedal up and down to get you where you want it, as far as where you want it to release. Now, what I usually do is I get the pedal to fully disengage about 1 inch from the floor, and then that way you're not going to overstroke the clutch. You want to only have a little bit of travel past that full release point. And I usually do like anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, depending on how you like the car and where you like the clutch to engage. So we're at the customer's house. This is Mike, and we're going to take the car for a ride. I'm going to get some impressions from a customer's first drive with this Tilton T56 clutch. It's been a long time since I've actually driven stick. That's good. This will be good then. It's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure. It's like, honestly, the way I describe it is it's almost like a stock clutch feel, but it can hold, 850 foot-pounds, so. So that wraps up this video on the left-hand drive Supra. And if you're watching it and you say, hey, I have a JDM car that I imported, or I have a right-hand drive car because you're in another country, well, you're in luck, because this is the next project. And this is a JDM right-hand drive car that one of my customers imported. You can see it's an automatic. So we're going to be pulling the automatic out of there and swapping this car. Everything fits exactly the same. The only difference is the right-hand drive pedals and all of that stuff is a little bit different, and the master cylinder is a little bit different. We make a right-hand drive master kit for it. But other than that, the swap is pretty much identical. So there's just a few little differences there, and we'll cover them as a separate video just to show you how to do this on a right-hand drive car.